play. Power play is a lot different than penalty kill. I think you need those guys on the back end to develop a consistent point attack, and we don't have that one guy that can generate that, and that's no disrespect to the players that we have, but you need a tremendous amount of skill to generate from the back end, and therefore your forwards will get more room. So we'd like our power play to be a little better, but we're certainly proud of where our penalty kill is, and a lot of guys in that room take pride in it.
Grant Stevenson, though, does have, I believe, 15 power play goals. So you're getting that up front.
We are. We're getting it from him, but we need, you can't just have one weapon on the power play and be successful. So maybe in the last stretch here, if we can climb the ladder a little bit, or the biggest thing that we're looking for down the stretch in our power play is timely goals. You know, you may go for 0 for 5 on the power play throughout 2.5 periods, and then all of a sudden score a power play goal with 5 minutes to go. So you have to really be careful on how you look at it, and that's the way we look at it for sure.
You mentioned that the goalie has to be your best penalty killer. Now, I know that you've had basically a rotation of 3, and when I look at stats, basically they all have 14, 15 games between them. So I don't know if it's by design or just luck of the draw or injury or what, but I mean, you've done a good job of making sure that everybody's getting pretty much equal playing time.
Well, and that's good for them right now, but I think coming down the stretch, you can't have a rotation of 3 goalies. We're going to have to go with one guy, and hopefully he gets the hot hand, and that'll help us, you know, get into the playoffs. And who that guy is right now, we don't know, and that's why they played probably the equal amount of games. So we'd like one guy to jump out front for sure.
But as a player, and I mean this very sincerely, it's tough to get your rhythm if you know you're only going to be in every other night, or
Yep, no, you're exactly right, it is.
And that's tough on you as a coach, because who are you going to finally say, okay, I'm going to play this guy 4 or 5 games?
Well, it's a unique situation, because when Curtis came down the first time, he had to get some games, and so he was playing no matter what, and he pulled himself through some tough times. He hadn't played in a while, and then when he came down the second time, he was going to play to get himself back into a groove, and now he's back into a groove. It's going to be a battle between him and Brent to see who comes out up top on as far as going to be the guy that's going to carry the load, and Matt's going to have to, you know, get in there and battle as much as he can. At the same time, he's a younger guy who can learn from the experience of battling against these 2 guys, and if he comes out on top, great, but if he doesn't, it's not going to wreck his development.
Finally, in the final moments with head coach Ryan McGill of the Quad City Flames, your number 1 line, you know, one of the best in the league, Stevenson, German, Kalanos. Now that you have Nystrom back, can you generate more on that second and third line and maybe let him be the linchpin to pull the other lines along?
We'd like to try to think we could. We feel that with the acquisition of Eric is really sort of solidified a solid third line with Prust and Mackey and Nystrom together, where they can generate a lot of speed through the neutral zone. They should be able to turn some pucks over on the forecheck, and then you know, it's up to them to deliver the puck into the net now. And then they've had chances. I would say they've had chances in the last little while, and hopefully in the next little while they'll be able to bury those chances.
Ryan McGill, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
That's the coach of the Quad City Flames, Ryan McGill. We'll come back with more of the Quad City Flames right here on the Wild World in just a moment. And as advertised, joining us right now is Tim Taylor, the general manager of the Quad City Flames. And Tim, thanks for taking time for us. As you get into the final 30 games now of the schedule after the All-Star break, taking a look back, how has that first half of the season, a little more than that, but how, as far as you're concerned, how did it go?
It's been a learning experience, but it's been great. I mean, the American Hockey League, the league as a whole, the players and personnel, first class, Calgary first class. It's been great. It's been great.
It's funny, as I sit back and think, you know, maybe a year ago this time somebody would have said, hey, you're going to be in American Hockey League by now. You would have said, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I think the honesty came out in April there last year. We were looking to go into the ECHL, and as it turned out, you know, here we are in the American League, and we're happy, we're thankful to be here, and we're looking forward to our final 16 home games to wrap up our regular season in the inaugural year of the American Hockey League.
All things being equal, the team has played fairly well, right around the 500 mark, but now you mentioned the final 16 regular season home games. And I say regular season, hopefully there's going to be some more. But what has to turn the corner? Because I know you want to see more people in the facility flat out.
Well, we do, and that's, you know what, that's